Yeah, that's true. We won't be hearing slurping and swish
Have you been
washing.
drinking that the whole time?
The whole time.
What?
Whole time.
Whole time. Without my lid and everything. I look like a savage.
Nathan, make sure you have your question too, by the way.
You can also just choose to say, get it out of here. Thank you. Mason, start us off, buddy.
Welcome to the Effin' Movie Podcast, where today we are talking about space truckers. To my far right is Nathan, then Price, then Dylan, then myself. I'm Mason. Nathan, tell us about space truckers, please. We have not already recorded this once.
No. This is all new.
And this is his pick, by the way. Let's preface this whole video by saying this is Nathan's pick. To a T. It's Nathan's pick.
Okay, so this is some B-movie space schlock. Bad acting, bad writing. Pretty good set design, really good costume design. It has good actors in it too. We've got Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister.
All right. You said actors plural. No, nobody's saying anything. Nobody help him here. You said actors. Who's the other one?
Deacon.
Oh
Yeah. Deacon works.
Deacon's a good actor.
That girl's in something.
She is
probably
she's in some other space thing. I've seen her before.
Good to know she didn't get pigeonholed into
roles. Good thing she didn't get typecast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a movie that kind of goes all over the place and is pretty long. We've got a beginning section that is like military base, developing new AI robot technology kind of stuff, with a scientist, Charles Dance, that presumably gets murdered in order to keep secret the fact that these robots exist. And then we cut to Deacon from Waterworld as our main character, the truck driver, who is currently delivering square pigs, but ends up picking up a illegal shipment of he knows not what is in there, but it is our robots that are intended to go to Earth and basically sever the government there in order to do a hostile takeover kind of thing.
It's a robot coup.
It's a robot coup.
Yeah.
We then proceed through just a mess of stuff in space, getting captured by pirates who are led by Charles Dance for some reason. Get out of that, get to Earth, and we'll kind of hash in a little bit more of what's going on there, but that's kind of the gist of it.
All right, I made this joke before. I'm going to do it again. So just like Top Gun, we got to start this review from the top.
Oh my gosh.
So the beginning scene I really liked.
The second time.
I don't care. So the beginning part I really liked. I thought it was setting up to be a more kind of serious movie, even though the title is Space Truckers. I still enjoyed the beginning, them trying to fight that one robot, showing off how powerful these robots are that you find out later really can be taken out by a microwave.
What did you think about the effects of the people getting destroyed? When they got shot and the weird bubbly looking stuff for the feet that were left behind.
I still liked it.
It looked like colored scrambled eggs got tossed onto them, or I don't know. It was a weird effect.
What I thought too, that might have been a weird simulation the whole time.
Oh yeah,
because
Lawnmower Man.
No, because of the weird greenish slimy ooze that was coming out of the people. It seemed very badly special effects.
Yeah, sometimes it's just bad special effects.
It felt a little bit like Starship Troopers-esque at the beginning for me.
Yeah.
You've seen Teeth, right?
No, I know what it is.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Then we're good.
Huh?
I said we're good.
You've seen it?
Yeah. It's on Amazon.
How there's that green stuff that comes out whenever she bites.
It's weird. We're not talking about
It's
weird.
Yeah.
How do we always talk about somehow actually maybe worse movies than Space Truckers?
Because I'm here, of course.
All right. So, Space Truckers, they get... So yeah, the first part, coolest part, they go to the space truck. I've said this before, so I'm saying it very quickly now. They go to the space truck, the space station, coolest part of the movie. The whole, little space diner.
They've got a little, rotating space diner. One of the best sets in the whole movie.
Yeah.
You spend most of the time in the truck, but this set is pretty interesting. And, I would be intrigued in how they kind of film this, because you have people, sitting in the seats, the whole thing, it's curved so quickly that it's this wouldn't actually work.
No.
No way are you spinning fast enough or whatever. space logic, it's fine.
Yeah.
But this is also where you meet his love interest, where he's like 60 and she's like 18, and he wants to have like a sexual relationship with her, and she obviously doesn't. And then he's like, "If I take you to Earth, we're gonna bang and be married." And she's like, "Okay." Like, that's weird. And then later, like,
I think the age of consent in space is
Negative.
possibly, I guess when you're in the womb. And then later, like, she's made to be like the sex symbol of the movie, and she's not even that hot. And then the whole movie, after 20 minutes in, her and the guy are shirtless the entire rest of the movie. Like, even when they get captured by the pirates we'll talk about later, they're completely shirtless the entire time. Like, it's so dumb. It's like It Follows, like, where like they're just naked the entire time for some reason.
I appreciate the consistency in this movie, though. They said, I guess it wouldn't make sense for them to put their clothes back on.
Yeah, they didn't have time.
Yeah, and really, it's serving her role more, because her role is very clearly fan service eye candy. And then they said, well, why would we dress her back up? That's silly. We paid her.
Brawl.
We don't pay strippers to put clothes back on, you know? Like, that's...
We gave her a $25 McDonald's gift card.
Yeah.
We're gonna get our money's worth.
She's gonna act throughout this entire thing with just that. But yeah, so... Alright, there's nothing really worth talking about with that crew. They're all expendable to me. Then there's the robots, which are pretty cool. Like,
The robot design is really cool.
I like
and
how
the way they're
aggressive
like
they
kind of
are, right?
stored in there, and like that's like almost Geiger-esque, the design of those
Geiger-esque.
rooms. The
that
guy
is.
that did Aliens,
Oh, never would have got that.
Gary
Gargich.
Gygax?
No, that's
Gygax?
Parks and Rec.
Close.
Anyway, yeah. So I guess we can hop into the pirate ship.
So we're at the pirate ship,
It's kind of what they did.
Okay,
Yeah.
So they're at the pirate ship, and this is when the biggest negative for the movie for me came out, is when like I've seen this same group of outlaws a million different times, and they're all from Nathan's picks or any kind of like post-apocalyptic movie. Like these, they're the same in every movie. It's the same wacky group of outriders who like aren't like perfectly perfect, but
They
all
always
like,
have
evil.
like bad haircuts. They're all dirty. Like, how are they building their outfits? Like, why are you taking just random pieces of trash and wearing it as
And
clothes?
taping it to
But
themselves.
that's what they're doing. And
think-
that's what they're doing in every movie.
I just guess that Nathan would thrive in this kind of
Yeah, he
environment, and like that's why he enjoys watching, because he know he'd thrive. I would just die instantly. But
Nathan wants to go
So
to Burning
boring.
Man so bad. Every
Yeah.
time he sees movies, he's just
to
like,
wear trash.
Yeah. Like, I'm not convinced if Nathan actually wants to lead one of these groups or just be a grunt in
Yeah,
one of these groups.
he wants to
Like,
be a part of it.
as long as I'm in there.
Yeah. As long as I
I'll
can
work
hang out
my
with the
way
boys.
up.
Right?
You're scaling the walls everywhere. I mean, look at those hands, those
Yeah.
rock climbing hands. Like you're getting on them.
Yeah, so we get there, and well, everybody is as Mad Maxy or Walter Weldy or as
Just pick one.
any road warrior looking guy that you could possibly want from it. Then you get Charles Dance. And he comes on down, and he's our favorite space Nazi now. And I like that he No, hold on. I'm having flashbacks to some of the weird lines that are coming up. So he comes up, and he's talking about chopping off dicks, which is really kind of, makes sense a little bit more later in the film frame. And there's one part I remember. Like, it's Deacon and younger handsome dude. I'm
Okay.
terrible with names, and I will not
That's
remember these
fine.
characters' names.
You don't need to.
So he goes over and he just does something, and like I guess he's holding the dick, and then like he's talking to Deacon, and he's like, "Oh, you want me to tear your dick off?" And then Deacon's like, "That's not my dick," and then everybody's just like, and then they just kind of move on.
Yeah.
I remember that one part in that movie, and that randomly came back like a trauma flashback to me just now. And I was like, "No, yeah, that did happen."
I kind of forgot that he had that whole like, I'm gonna interrogate you by just holding
Holding
you
your
by the
dick,
balls.
yeah, with his. Actually, that was his human hand, because his claw's on the left, so he really wanted to get intimate with this. Charles Dance, you deserve better. But so, sorry, that came back. And then he was like, all right, well, I'm going to go bang this girl now. And everybody's like, okay, yeah, that checks out. And then he goes to take her up there, and then, Price, you can talk about his EMP.
the electric wang pulse.
Yeah.
He's like, it's made for women's pleasure. And then he starts like a lawnmower. It's just start going like this.
And then
she's
a
like,
light just
"Oh."
starts glowing
Yeah.
from just below screen as he's like looking down at himself trying to get ready. There's also a like performance anxiety joke there too,
Yeah.
because like he can't get it to go, and he's like, this doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, this is the ED of all jokes, right? Like, yeah, so, I don't know. Mason, what were your thoughts during at least this chunk of the film?
I thought that the pirate ship scene was a little bit cliche, like with the whole. As soon as they found out that they had the robots on those shipment containers, like we said earlier, the Tywin Lannister guy didn't actually know that those were the original robots. He was just more infatuated with the 3 people on the ship, and especially the girl.
And the 2 dicks.
But whenever she got away from him and came down, he quickly realized that they were robots, and all hell breaks loose because somehow they get away and they escape some of these robots, but not all. Mm-hmm. Most of them are still on the ship somehow, or, still connected.
Yeah.
But that would not be the last of Tywin Lannister either. Wait, was it? Did we see him
no,
again?
I think that was the last we see of him.
Oh, okay.
No, like
we get that one little moment where he's dying on the ship.
Yeah, he's dying on the ship, like
Yeah,
with the
okay.
like he's in the robot cage.
Yeah,
with
that's right.
them.
Because he does end up left on the ship, like almost like melted into the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Did you
weird.
watch this movie, Nathan?
Yeah.
I watched it twice.
yeah.
But yeah, like that. I mean, I'll agree. That was definitely not the best part of the movie. It was. You even mentioned earlier it was like Star Wars-esque when like.
I mean, he just rips off Han Solo all of the time.
Yeah.
All of the Han Solo tropes.
The way
are
that
ripped
he's
off.
introduced is just like Han Solo. Like it's just the most cliche. Like because like it has that cold open pretty much, and then it like has him like in his cockpit like. Yeah, I got this delivery I got to make, but you're not taking my stuff for free.
Yeah, being this smooth, suave, like just delivery man, which essentially is what Han is.
And he just has this awful hero's ending that we talked about before about how basically like everybody gets the woman that they want, and they're like, "What's our next adventure going to be, guys? I don't know." And then it goes to credits, and they're all like laughing at the end.
This is very much just a B space movie.
Yeah.
Like it's very tropey.
Can I give it a C? Like,
It'll be rated as such.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as far as the ending goes, this movie could have ended a few different times and chose to just keep going until everybody had exactly what they deserved in the mind of the movie, I guess.
Yes, there's no possible way they should sequel this movie.
Yeah,
As-
it wraps up in a tight little bow.
Yeah, any bad guy gets blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Any antagonist gets blown up. Actually, just blow up everybody. Yeah. I mean, well, except for Charles Dance, he gets melted. But
If they can make a Last of Us 2 out of the first one, they can make a Space Truckers 2 out of this.
that's not
I
a
wouldn't know
compliment.
because I never finished the first one.
That's true. God.
The Last of Us, that's what he's talking
Not
about.
Space Truckers.
He'll play like Hot Shots golf for like ever, and now he's playing Wolfenstein 2.
He's
It hasn't
brought it
even
up.
played the first one.
Don't worry.
What?
If you want to see all of our thoughts on The Last of Us 2, that review,
Oh, it'll come out.
while not time friendly, will eventually come out. Mark our words, but we're not here to plug our other content.
We reviewed it like a week after it came out, and there's no telling when this movie's gonna be. This review's gonna be released.
before The Last of Us 2 review. Which one's? It's gonna be my birthday next, right? Before yours?
Mine's March.
Okay, it'll be your birthday probably. Like,
Yeah, it probably will.
probably will.
Because Waterworld still hasn't been released in our timeline.
Anyways, so
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean
yeah,
to date it.
let's go ahead and wrap up this. Let's wrap up the story. So they say
Just by what we're wearing, we're dating our podcast.
that's not true. So they go to the hospital. They find out that the girl's mom is hot. So then that's Deacon's.
The
love
girl's
interest.
mom's hot because she's been
Cryogenically
cryogenically frozen
frozen.
and recently thawed out.
And then
So
Deacon's
she's
like,
as
yeah.
young as her daughter, basically.
All right. So here's the checklist for the movie. Everybody gets a couple.
Check.
Okay. Kill all of the other bad guys.
Yep.
Check. President comes in and he's like, "Let me give you money because that you saved the world." Checks out. And then everybody's like, "But we don't want money. Throw it out the window."
Why don't they want the money?
I don't know. Every one of them looks
Because
like
if they
could use
wanted
it.
the money, they would have been blown up.
Yeah. Like,
Good point.
it's common narrative sense. You take the money, you get blown
No,
up.
it doesn't. Like, at least, like, you're making fun of my B movies that I like Thanksgiving. Like, their actions make semi-sense. I said semi-sense.
No. We're not going into it,
So-
but no. So, anyway.
We don't have to.
Yeah, so they take the money, they throw it out the window because fuck the man, and then the man gets fucked by the money.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. The movie wraps. It goes in the cue credits with that one song that you were wanting to listen to.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
Techno
It
Cotton Eye
plays
Joe,
like
I
a
remember it.
techno Cotton Eye Joe in the credits.
My mouse was hovering over that X button the entire time. It's like, give me credits.
Give me starring click. Yeah. So anyway, that's Space Truckers, and with minus the space square pigs and all of that, Mason, why don't you get into the shape of this movie so we can keep this review moving along?
So, in case you don't know about what the shape of the movie means, fit means it's right where the length it needs to be. Fat, fit like this specimen right here. Fat is like this guy, like there's a lot you can trim off. There's a lot you can trim off that doesn't need that much, or skinny like this guy over here. And like you just need more. You just need more. Everyone wants more of this to get to be more like this.
Oh my.
That's what the shape.
That was the worst one we've ever done.
That was perfect.
This is
Unlike this movie's length, which I'll go ahead and say is chubby. Because, it's really not that chubby. It really wasn't, because I was honestly wanting to go with fit for this movie. But a lot of the chubbiness comes from, when they're having this character, kind of like the character, especially I'm thinking of when the characters... Dum-dums.
We're listening. We're listening.
The part that I would trim off is the part where they get into the truck with all three of them. I didn't like that. You're a cliche. We don't need any more of you. We know what you are. We know what you're about. We don't need you,
your acting isn't the
interactions.
strength of this movie. The strength of this movie is the set pieces, the design, the spaciness of it.
Now, that I agree with him 100%. The Space Diner was really neat. Like I said, that first scene, I very much enjoyed and was on board, and then just went down the whole rest of the movie.
Did we not discount John Goodman or whatever that pig guy was at the beginning?
I
of the
love
movie?
him.
He did kind of look like John Goodman.
I kept thinking this is John Goodman, but I know it's not.
Man, he's a chameleon. He can act in
I
anything.
know, that guy is incredible. So there's this discount guy on that one, but
Who gets sucked through a little pinhole in a window.
for a little bit
Yeah.
he didn't, and then he did.
Yeah.
But all right, so chubby movie, Mason.
Yeah, definitely chubby. I see what you mean there. The background characters, the fill-ins. Like you said, they're not the showstoppers. They don't have to act as such. You just play your part. Just be present. You don't have to even speak. That's why it's chubby though. A lot of the scenes with the truck, I think could have been shortened or not highlighted as much. I do like the fact that the truck was pretty intricate as far as how old it was and how indestructible.
Because it's old and anybody can drive it.
Yeah, it's not one of those new rigs. It has all the additional stuff.
Not new rigs that blow up all the time.
Yeah.
And that are somehow
Don't want
worse.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of work was put into some of that stuff, which was neat. But if you could trim up, honestly, besides just for it being sexual tension, they probably didn't have to have the whole part where it was getting really hot in there.
And then they decided to just get naked. You know what helps if it gets really hot? Just strip.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know, a couple of those parts probably. Pirate ship was fine. I just didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Nathan?
Ultimately, this movie is chubby, and it is all those cabin bottle scenes. That stuff, although it is B-movie schlock stuff to be oh, it's getting hot in here, and everybody's going to take their clothes off, and all that silliness.
That's going to be the cabin.
To be honest, I wish this movie had more of a budget so that they could have had more locations and more scenes and more design put into it, because I feel like this stuff ended up being filler sections of the movie to pad out the length, because it's not like it served much narrative purpose. It was, in my mind, it was probably them just being well, we've spent so much money on all this other stuff, we still need to have enough for a movie. Let's just film in this one location that we've got for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it had more money, if they had run into more stuff, if it had been more things along the way, the black ice thing was kind of whatever. I was hoping there would be more stops along the way to Earth.
Yeah.
But it just was
just
we're stuck now.
Yeah. Issues with the ship. Pirate for a little bit. Issues with the ship.
Every time there was issues with the ship, that disappointed me greatly.
Yeah.
Because I was I want space travel. I want stuff happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit here in this bottle episode with these three not very good characters.
Yeah.
This movie has an eating disorder on body image issues with it. So narratively it's fat as all get out. They keep trying to give this movie a story, which is the last thing you want to give this movie. You give it a world, you give it a set, you give it all that stuff, and I agree. And this is where the opposite part is. I think I'm with Nathan. It's actually really thin on the set design and the costume
Pick a
stuff
lane.
and that stuff, right? So here's where I agree with Nathan. It's not so much that this is a movie that just needs to get reworked, right? If you take out
You can't do that though.
the boring stuff, so if you take out Earth, take out all of that. I don't think they even get to Earth. I like it better.
That's the thing. Like,
Look, I thought that Earth stuff was funny.
It's
like,
fun.
Them
Yeah.
being in the hotel, or in the hospital, and like discovering that the mom's actually young
Yeah.
for the cryogenically frozen. Like that's some good space stuff. Like that's some good future stuff that I thought was just hilarious for them to throw in.
All
Didn't
right.
take that much time. I was fine with that.
It took long enough. But if you gave me more of the space truck stop, or if you fleshed that stuff out, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. If that movie gets reworked to be like more focused there and maybe around that area, then I don't know. Then it feels a little bit more like it's that Bruce Willis movie I'm thinking of.
Fifth
Element.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would totally dig this in a more Fifth Element like grounded setting instead of doing Space Trucker stuff. But then this movie's Space Trucker, and I guess it's just a different movie. So I guess I just want to watch a different movie. In that case, it's fat.
Well, so I do want to say real quick, with you talking about the diner like space base thing. Do any of y'all remember that brief moment where they're going into the women's bathroom and he opens that door and that lady's freaking out and then he grabs her head and peels it back and then there's like a keypad where he punches in numbers to go to like some underground
that's a black
place.
market
Yeah.
dealer, but like, how many people know about that? Because
That's
that
the
person
point.
is stationed down
There
there
Yeah.
all the time.
only
It's-
for that.
Yeah.
So like, whenever they did that, I was like, how does nobody else know about this?
This has to be a
How
rig.
long has this guy been sitting down here, or woman, whatever she was? I can't.
I mean, it might not have
was.
been anything. Could have just been another robot for all we
Could
know.
have
After
been.
he just ripped the head back on that one, but
yeah, that like there was so much put into this movie.
Yeah.
Like clearly they had a budget that let them do a lot, and somehow they
you
still wasted a lot of
credit
our
where
time.
credit's due. This was a movie.
You know what was weird too is like, as soon as he picked up that bad load, the younger guy was like,
Where's my
"Man,
middle
you
high
know, as soon as you take this thing out, they're gonna be all over us." Like they were looking for him and doing all this, but then all along, as soon as he pulled out of the port,
Wish I knew you
they were
before.
just pursuit. Was
Better
on.
times.
So I was like, why did they just wait outside of his ship anyways? If
Yeah, if they
he
knew that he
was-
was gonna go to his ship.
yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was a little weird, but it's whatever.
All right, so let's get to the next news segment
Oh yeah,
where the picker of the movie comes up with a question to ask
boy.
everybody.
a debatable question.
Hit us with it.
Or they don't. I just don't. Whenever I do mine.
Yeah, he's just difficult.
It's fine.
Okay, he had this prepared, everybody.
Okay, so let's
We even gave him an
let's-
extra
let's
20
do
minutes.
this.
Okay.
Where else along their trip to Earth should they have stopped?
Mercury.
Like, what would have been a cool?
The sun.
what would have been a cool like location
Ooh.
to have been added to this movie?
No, actually, I think here's my answer. Pluto. Because it's still a planet in that timeline. And
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of when that movie came out, it was still a planet.
it's still a planet
Yeah.
in our time. And I like that it would give us a sense of journeying, right? Now, and I think it says how quick like things are transporting, because he says it's like, oh, 8 days away, and we don't know what the fuck that is in space time or how far that actually
or
is.
how fast the ship
Right.
goes or anything.
I think it gives you a sense of like if they start from Pluto and they kind of start passing in planets on the way in, even just in the background, I think would be a nice
yeah,
little touch.
they don't ever show any of the planets. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
whatever. So
But also, they're in another, not like light year, but like another universe, aren't they, or galaxy? Because they mentioned
Like
that, like
another solar
be
system.
yeah,
galaxy,
solar
solar
system. I
system,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. Because like I'll agree, any of those planets would be cool. Saturn would be nice. Mars would be a little too close to home.
Well, that ice field could have been like rings of Saturn. or
Asteroid,
something.
yeah, or the
Yeah.
asteroid belt or something.
hell, even blow up a planet, we don't care. Whatever, space truckers, they'd be on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree. I think a moon of one of the planets just to drop a name would have been cool. But ultimately, you're right. Any stop would have been the right stop.
They could have
yeah.
had like a stopping on Europa and
Mm.
then doing like a little cute ice skating scene with them on the like ice fields of Europa.
They needed to pick up supplies, and they knew that
Yeah.
such and such
And
had a
then there's
market.
like this little, instead of like the hot, sexy scene, they could have had like the touching, cold, like skating on Europa scene
Yeah.
with our two.
the cheesy,
yeah.
Hell, even go to Venus, make it like a sexy like feminist whorehouse place or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And like it's like this, cause winner for
Women.
Mars, winner for Venus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and then
yeah.
see, it's the stupidest kind of thing that I'm like, I just thought of it and it's dumb. So I'm surprised it didn't make the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, that could have made the movie.
yeah.
Mine, like I was gonna say that, like what I would want to see is like another kind of set, like a set piece, like the diner, something like that. Like it doesn't have to be in that same like location, but like like another place similar to the diner where like people hang out. Like there's this cool set like that, and I mean I could like integrate Dylan's kind of like thought with it, and, like go to like Venus, and then they have like this neat kind of looking place that they could go explore.
Hell, take whatever the direction they did with the movie, throw that away. Do the empowered women sex workers from Sin City, or maybe Sin City 2. I forget which it is. It's all black and white to me.
I haven't seen it.
So anyway, there's this empowered like feminist women group or whatever that they're all like.
They do that in Mad Max.
Yeah, exactly. So similar idea. Not as similar. They're not as empowered.
Like no, definitely
No,
not.
they're very much sex slaves. It's opposite actually. It's nothing like that. But all right, so take it and you have like powerful women group, and then we have that's just Space Truckers 2 or Sin City 2. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I guess it's a different movie. I guess I just want a different movie, not watch Space Truckers. But yeah, anyway, yeah.
Well, we ready to
stops and scores.
Get into our scores. Then?
Mm-hmm. Mason, lead the way, buddy.
I don't know about this movie. I think that like for a 80s I guess movie, and it's very campy, very sci-fi based, and had pretty good acting in it for what they had to deal with. Still can't give it above a 5.5. I think.
Ooh, that's low for him.
Well, so that's why it's weird though, because like I didn't hate this movie. I didn't dislike it that much. It's just
sounds like
I'll never watch it again. This will only be the thread of like moments in my mind. This will be the Thanksgiving. This will be the Tim and Eric. This will be So
like,
we
there's
might
some
reference
funny
it.
stuff to reference.
Yeah,
in this, sure.
the square pigs. I got to be honest. As soon as you told me that they were square pigs, I was looking forward to them the whole movie. Kind of wish they hadn't made an appearance so early, 'cause that kind of wiped it away early.
Really took your interest out.
Yeah, but yeah, 5.5 I think is right where it needs to be. I did like the premise. I like the villains. I just like you said, maybe if it wasn't so much of a inside the truck, then it could have been a lot more that I would have had to talk about. But that's really all it was. So. Dylan,
you want to go,
This movie
or you want me to go?
is a 5. I got it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're getting skewered.
So Nathan knew what this movie was.
Yeah,
this is a bad B.
yeah.
This is a bad B movie. It's
You're not gonna win, Nathan. You're not gonna win.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
I don't know. We'll see how we vote
Well,
on our next movie review, but we'll get there. So,
I got a 1 somehow, so
Yeah. So yeah, this movie's a 5. I mean, it's a B movie. It's not trying to be anything impressive. It has two decent actors, Charles Dance and whoever Deacon's actor is, who has name I never remember. Ian McDowell.
See, even he did not
I
do
think- is it Ian
anything for
McDowell?
me.
I
Yeah.
liked him.
I listen now.
I didn't.
It was fine.
This role isn't like after coming off of Deacon. Like I'm not as
Yeah,
hot on him. in
Deacon
this
was
role.
a,
Yes.
a
Like,
cooler role.
right,
for
I
sure.
enjoyed that.
And then I think, well, what if we just switched him and Charles Dance? But then Charles Dance is not meant to be like this hero character. Like he's just can't. Like he probably. He's
menacing.
very well talented, but yeah, he's too menacing. Exactly right. It's funny. Like I probably would have rated it lower, but the more I started thinking about it and we started talking about like some of the stuff that we could do with the worlds, I'm like, ooh, you suckered me on it. Because now I'm like, I kind of want this Venus follow-up that I'm coming up. Why do I always make the best sequels to these terrible movies? So like I don't want this Venus follow-up, and I think that there's some cool things that could be done. Just needs a different director, different cast, really everything. You can keep Charles
You're
Dance,
making
actually.
a movie all your own then.
I know,
at
but
that point.
I like that this movie inspired me to get there, right? So this is like, it's the grounded idea.
That's always the thing with a lot of my movies is I'm just like, I like the world.
Mhm.
I like the ideas that this movie inspires in my mind
Yeah.
more so than the movie itself.
I'll remind you, Price, I picked Excalibur as the world that I like the most on the last one, so I'm like, yeah.
Where if you get a fever, you die.
Sorry, man.
You just
that's
get the magician.
That's the trade-off. You get magic, but you get a fever, you die. 50-50.
Whatever his name was.
So, all that being said, it's not a good movie. It's a bad movie. It's not horrendously bad. The runtime doesn't go on for way too long. I guess there's some, not even full nudity, which honestly I probably should rate it lower just for not getting her actual boobs out. But,
Did we really want that?
yeah.
No.
I want, here's what I want. Male and female nudity as appropriately and as often as possible when needed. And B movies,
When necessary.
B movies, you need all the nudity you can get to keep people entertained with this. You didn't even show 4.5. I take it back. They didn't show the
4.5.
They didn't show Charles Dance's robot penis. That would have put it over.
They
for
only
me.
implied it. That's
Yeah,
true.
they only implied it, and they had to glow with it. Yeah, that nudity would have really brought it up to that B
Imagine
level
being
quality.
the guy like sitting below frame with like a blue light ready to turn it on.
Yeah.
right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. I am continuing this train by saying I did not enjoy this movie. You all said like there's like, oh, it's kind of like Tim and Eric Thanksgiving where there's like moments like you can talk about that are funny.
I would say it's funnier.
There was none of those for me. I did not chuckle once during this movie. I did kind of like during the part where he's like starting up his dick. Like that was like kind of funny, but like barely
what about
kind of funny.
That's not my dick. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No, I did not think that was funny. I was just like, I was so off put by like the beginning scene that I like so much. Like, this is the kind of movie like I think I'm getting. It's called Space Truckers, but like it has this really serious scene, and then the rest of it does not match the tone of that first scene at all. So I don't like this. I want the tone to stay similar through the movie, and this one definitely didn't. And it's so forgettable. I'm never going to think about this movie. Like Mason said, there's going to be like tendrils in his mind that he may think about at some point. No, this movie's gone from my mind already. I'm going to go with probably a 3, just for the sake of like the length isn't that bad. Getting down in like the 2 areas for me is like the length just gets egregious at that point, or it's like Brick and it's just so terrible that I have to give it a bad score. So yeah, apparently the lights agree with me. So 3.
Well, I'll say that for me, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I watched it with a group of people, so we were all like
Party effect
making
makes a big difference
jokes
there.
about it and everything. I feel like this, with so many B movies, like a B movie is funnier and more entertaining when you have company watching it along with you, so that you can like just poke fun at what it is you're seeing on the screen.
We've been saying that for a while with like
Yeah.
my picks too.
Yeah,
I agree with
so, for me, this movie, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
I found it pretty funny.
Just
I
can't
enjoyed
get
the world. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
of course you enjoy the
70s.
world. It's the same group of people.
Look, the 80s knew how to hit me.
Yeah.
I guess the 80s knew what I wanted, and it just keeps on delivering.
It is
even years
anti-government
later.
establishment.
It is
too.
anti-government. Yeah.
At the very
Oh
end.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I didn't
took 'em
mention
forever,
that,
but they got
I
there.
picked up on that thread.
It checks
Yeah.
out. It's a 7 for Nathan at least. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So yeah, that's I guess that's Galaxy Trucker.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not
Galaxy
Galaxy
Trucker.
Space
Galaxy
Trucker.
Quest
Galaxy
Space
Trucker is actually a board game that I have that we can play sometime.
I don't want to play it.
Yeah. Can we make only references to this movie while we play
Yes.
I can't do it, so I'll lose.
Is there? You know what? I'm not gonna get into male nudity part. All right. So what, Price? What do we got going on next week?
I am going back to my roots by picking a kind of movie that everyone knows that I'm going to pick, and it is another anime. And this one is Promare, which is made by apparently the infamous Studio Trigger, which maybe he knows more about them. I'm more into
Kill
like
a Kill, Currently Gone.
See, I haven't seen those.
Oh, yeah.
And I need to. Like, Kill la Kill, I've heard is amazing. But,
Kill a Kill's so good.
But, I mean, I'm like more into the new anime space. But I've heard Studio Trigger's awesome, and I've seen Promare and really enjoyed it. So I think we're going to watch that next week. And please watch the English dub. Just please watch the English dub. I tried watching the sub.
It won't make a difference.
And
It'll be
it's
fine.
well, it's not as bad as like Paprika in the sense like if you watch the sub, like you won't know what's going on.
No.
This one's just like I don't like the voice acting for the sub, and I think that the dub, like the voice acting, is really good. So yeah, Promare English dub, everybody.
Cool.
All right.
See you
See you next week, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe our channel. God, we keep watching terrible movies for you. Please like and subscribe to this channel. We just want to retire watching bad movies once a week.
We do it so you don't have to.
God, please. Why?